Yesterday, a sedan rolled in with 487,000 miles, still quiet, proven. After 20 years turning wrenches, we call these 5 immortal sedans. They rarely strand you. With normal care, we see 300,000 plus often, and million stories happen too. 2 million is rare, so we rank by total cost, simple upkeep, and real failures. Number 5. Buick LaserBur, 2000 to 2005. It's cheaper because the badge feels dated, but the drivetrain is simple and parts are everywhere. That combo stays hidden, so the price looks lowest and the value looks clear. Real value is when a sedan stays reliable and longer on a budget, not when it impresses a neighbor. A customer came in chasing a newer name, and his wallet felt tight and stressed. He wanted modern. But modern can mean complex, and complex turns costly fast. So we walked him to a clean LeSabre, and the test drive made him calmer and confident. Under the hood is the 3.8 V6, a proven, durable, reliable. That engine is built for RPM, so it runs longer with normal oil service. Behind it is a basic 4-speed automatic, simple, common, and usually trouble-free. We like what it avoids. No turbos, no direct injection drama, no failure points getting expensive. That means your bad days are usually brakes, tires, and a sensor, not a tow bill. In our bays, these show up for routine service, then roll out quieter and smoother. Here's another quiet win. The ride is comfortable, the cabin is quieter, and the seats stay supportive. You finish a commute feeling calmer, not beat up, and that matters for daily life. When a car feels easy, you maintain it better, and it stays reliable longer. Subscribe to our channel for the best cars you can pick up for pocket change. Now here's the truth. Demand does not equal longer life. Demand just pushes prices higher. A same-money Camry or Accord can cost more because buyers chase the safety badge story. Meanwhile, the LeSabre stays cheaper, even when it rides comfortable and stays reliable. Who should buy it? Commuters who want quieter miles, lowest costs, and reliable. Who should skip it? Anyone who needs latest gadgets or hates bigger sedans. If you want an honest tool, it keeps working, keeps costs smaller, and keeps you happy. Here's our inspection checklist, and it prevents painful surprises later. First, check for coolant near the intake, because leaks become damage and costly. Second, check the coolant level after a drive, because disappearing fluid is a warning. Third, feel transmission shifts, because changes can signal neglect and serious wear. Fourth, drive over bumps and listen for clunks, because front suspension wear is common. Fifth, check the steering effort, because a groan can turn expensive if you wait. Pass those checks and you get a cheaper sedan that can run longer than most owners expect. If you think this is old school tough, number 4 is a fleet legend that refuses to quit. Number 4, Ford Crown Victoria, 2006 to 2011. This is a workhorse sedan that got treated like a tool, so it was built and tougher. That history matters because fleets demand reliable uptime and simple service. Simple service is why we still see these running, while newer cars are tired. We had a customer looking at a crossover, then he saw the payment and felt painful and costly. He said he needed strength, and he assumed sedans could not handle daily abuse. So we asked a question. Why did fleets choose them for reliable and predictable duty? He drove a Crown Vic and felt it was stable, confident, and secure at speed. Then he checked the trunk and laughed, because the cargo space is bigger and useful. That moment shows the point. A durable sedan can still be practical and comfortable. Under the hood is a 4.6 V8, and the layout is basic and service-friendly. It's paired to a traditional 4-speed automatic, so shifts stay consistent and predictable. The body-on-frame design takes hits, and the cooling system stays durable and stronger. Now, we don't romanticize fleet life, because some cars were abused and badly neglected. So we shop carefully and we pay for condition and records, not a shiny detail job. Condition is what separates a cheaper score from a costly problem, and that is safety. Here's the money angle. Compare it to a Charger, then look at realistic costs and repairs. The Charger can feel fun, but hidden traps can get expensive and stressful fast. The Crown Vic feels plain, and plain is profit when you need reliable miles. Here's our inspection checklist, and it's different because fleetwear leaves clues. First, check idle wear signs, worn pedals, torn seats, and cracked wheels, all telling and warning. Second, check transmission engagement, because delayed shifts can mean heat and neglect. Third, listen for rear axle noise, because a whine can become expensive later. Fourth, inspect frame rust points in salt states, because rusted metal is serious. Fifth, test the brakes hard, because warped rotors feel annoying and unsafe. Sixth, sniff for coolant, because leaks become damage and costly if ignored. Seventh, check suspension sag, because tired springs make the ride unstable and sloppy. If it passes, you get reliable miles that feel normal. plus a car that lasts longer. Next one is newer and quieter, and it surprises guys who assume reliable means slower. Number 3, Mazda 6, 2016 to 2018. This is the sedan we see roll in with miles, and we get ready for bad news. Then it needs something small, and we grin. That kind of relieved ownership makes a shop feel quieter because there is no panic to chase. A highway commuter came in with over 200,000 miles, looking stressed and expecting a disaster. We lifted it, checked the suspension, checked the brakes, and found normal wear, not a drivetrain problem, and that made him relieved. He paid for pads, a filter, and an oil change, then left feeling calmer and smarter. The reason is simple. Mazda kept this car basic while others got clever. The naturally aspirated 2.5 Sky Active is proven, and the traditional 6-speed automatic stays smooth and predictable. You skip turbo heat, you skip CVT roulette, and you end up with fewer turbo-costly surprises. What we like is how friendly it is to service, and most jobs do not need special tools. That means labor stays cheaper, so you fix small stuff before it becomes damage. For a daily driver, that kind of simple access is the difference between reliable ownership and delayed repairs. It also stays cheaper for a market reason. Mazda sells fewer units, so demand is lower and prices stay friendlier. A same-year Camry or Accord often costs more because buyers chase resale, not because those cars last longer. If you want 300,000 with normal care, this one stays reliable and cheaper overall. Now we do not buy them blind, because neglect is what kills even solid designs. Start with rust around the rear wheel wells and salt states, because that damage spreads rapidly there. Then ask about transmission fluid service, because fresh fluid keeps shifts cleaner and protects that predictable feel. Next, watch for motor mount wear, because a tired mount makes the idle rougher and the cabin annoying. Then, test the infotainment knob and screen, because worn controls hint at harder use and skipped care. Finish with a highway drive, lift off around 45, and feel for shudder, because tires or mounts can cause it, and the price should be fairer. If you want a sedan that feels sportier but still stays reliable, this is our quiet pick. And if you like quiet picks, the next car is the predictable king, the one that makes maintenance boring, and boring is profit. If this honest shop talk helps you buy smarter, subscribe. We focus on reliable sedans, simple checklists, and realistic costs. Drop your mileage goal below, and we will help you avoid costly mistakes. Number 2, Honda Accord, 2008 to 2012. This is the sedan that makes ownership feel predictable, and that is the highest compliment we can give. Predictable means fewer surprises, fewer wallet punches, and fewer mornings stuck and annoyed. A buyer wanted newer because newer felt safer and more modern, but his budget was stressed and the listings were sketchy. We showed him a clean Accord with real records, and the first drive felt smoother and more confident. He stopped shopping for age and started shopping for condition, which is the whole game. I worked with a fleet guy, and he loved one thing: predictable schedules that never turn into costly chaos. He said the Accord was the only sedan where he could plan parts, plan downtime, and still sleep calmer. That is what Immortal means in real life. Not magic, just simple systems that keep showing up. The core is simple: a 2.44 cylinder with a timing chain, and a conventional automatic offered in these years. That setup is not fancy, but it is durable and cheaper to keep alive. It avoids turbo stress, it avoids CVT drama, and the routine stays predictable. Fluids, brakes, tires, repeat. In our bays, that routine is why these go longer than most people think is normal. We see them cross 250,000, then creep toward 300, still starting on cold mornings without complaint. When something does show up, it is usually a wear item you can plan for, not a wallet-ending surprise. Here is the price angle. Compare it to a similar year Altima or Fusion, and the Accord often holds value better. Buyers trust it, so demand is higher, and the upfront price can feel painful. The payoff is fewer random repairs, so the long game stays cheaper and calmer. Here is our inspection checklist. Keep it simple and consistent. Listen for power steering whine or pump seepage, because that leak is common and messy. Check the front suspension for knocks, because worn bushings make the car feel loose and unsafe. Look for oil seepage around the valve cover, because small leaks turn annoying if ignored. Do a cold start and listen for a brief rattle, because that can point to a tired actuator, and you want the price fairer. Then review maintenance records, because skipped service turns reliable into risky. Finally, confirm the transmission shifts smooth when warm, especially in stop and go, because harsh changes mean the car was driven harder. If it passes, you get a sedan that protects your time, protects your money, and keeps life predictable. Number 1 is the appliance reliable champ, and boring is profit. Number 1. Toyota Avalon, 2013 to 2018. This is the big Toyota sedan people ignore because it feels like an older guy car, and that stigma makes it secret and cheaper. Most buyers chase trendy trims, then they overpay and feel stressed when the numbers hit. We like that because a quieter, comfortable Avalon sits there, ready for a smarter deal. A customer rolled in wanting Lexus comfort, and the pricing made him angry and punished. He showed us ES listings, talked about luxury, and his wallet already looked tight. We asked what he needed: lowest stress, reliable starts, and long trips that feel calmer. We sent him out in an Avalon, and the first mile felt different suddenly. The cabin stayed quieter, the ride stayed smooth, and the body felt stable over bad pavement. He came back shaking his head because the badge story sounded silly and painful. Here's why we trust this generation. It stays simple where others got complicated. You get a proven 3.5 V6 and a 6-speed automatic, and that combo is durable. No turbo heat games, no belt-style CVT drama, just hardware that likes normal service. Now, does that really mean 2 million miles easy? That's a unicorn, and we won't sell fairy tales. But we do see these push 300,000 plus with routine care, and that is immortal enough. When a car avoids surprise failures, you stop fearing every commute, and you start planning years. The market ignores Avalons because they are not cool, and that is your advantage. A loaded Camry can cost similar money, yet it feels smaller and less upscale inside. A Lexus ES often costs more for the same miles, and you are paying for image, not a stronger chassis. The Avalon sits in the sweet spot, space, comfort, and reliability parts, without the premium markup. It feels like the long-distance choice, the one you drive all day and step out less tired. And when you are shopping used, fatigue equals mistakes, and those mistakes cost money. That's why we like quieter cabins, because they keep you calmer and more patient. Who should buy? Highway commuters who want quieter cruising and stable tracking at speed. Families who want bigger rear space and a trunk that swallows stuff. Who should skip? Drivers who demand sportier steering, or anyone who hates a full-size footprint. Here's our inspection checklist, and it keeps costs cheaper by from turning costly. Start with service records, because records beat stories, and neglect always leaves clues. Check the cooling system, because heat kills engines quickly. Then listen for suspension clunks on rough roads. Verify the transmission stays smooth when warm, because jerks become expensive later. Test every electronic, windows, locks, HVAC, and the screen, because small failures stack up. Watch tire wear and look underneath for hidden seepage, because leaks cause damage and repairs get costly. This is where people argue with us, until they drive one and feel how normal the ownership can be. If you want a luxury ride without luxury stress, this is the quieter answer. And if you want a car that just shows up every day, boring becomes profit, right? Wrap up recap and next video tease. Lessaber, simple drivetrain, durable parts, and a bargain that keeps costs lowest. Crown Vic, fleet-bred workhorse, tougher bones, and reliable miles when maintained. Mazda 6, smooth feel, predictable upkeep, and value because demand stays smaller. Accord, consistent routine, stronger resale, and fewer wallet punches over time. Avalon, quieter comfort, space for adults, and a cheaper price because the market shrugs. Buy condition and records, not stories and badges, and your odds get smarter. Next video, we cover vehicles that cross 300,000 miles with normal service using the same checklists. Before you go, subscribe for reliable picks and practical checklists you can use on a test drive. Next video keeps it simple and honest, so you stop guessing and start buying smarter. These 5 sedans earn respect because they last, not because they look fancy. If this saved you money, subscribe and comment on your most reliable high-mile car. Drive safely, stay smarter, and we'll see you next time.